Hi, guys. Welcome to the Pride of Detroit POD cast. For the time being, the Pride of Detroit POD cast. Our future is unfortunately a bit limited. I don't want to come to you in these situations, and I'm trying to be the one who's keeping the energy up right now just because I feel like I've already gone through a little bit of this when Vox/SB Nation tried to throw me to the curb over California laws a while back. Unfortunately, we have to go through a lot, and we want to sit down with everyone to talk about what's going on. So in case you don't know, I'm Chris Perfett, the adequate host, the man who started this all 9 years ago on the Pride of Detroit POD cast. Jeremy Reisman, um, I don't want to call you the fearless leader. I think you have multiple fears going on right now.
That would be accurate.
Um, my friend for 9 years, and someone I'm very proud to do a podcast with. Ryan Matthews, the rock god, again, a friend for 9 years and someone who I've been very happy to do a podcast with for 9 years. 9 years, an insanely long time to do a podcast. 9 years, and somehow we found a little niche. We found a massive audience, and unfortunately, we have to talk about some news that impacts us all incredibly hard today here on April the 4th, which I wish this was news we could bring you 3 days earlier, but I know Jeremy hates April Fools.
Do.
So this is really off the top before I let Jeremy speak. This is news that's kind of blindsided all of us. As you can probably tell, we are working through the stages of grief a little bit in real time. This hit us today. We're not learning. This isn't just coming out today. We learned about it at the same time as we told all of you on Twitter or X. I commented on Reddit, on the Detroit Lions subreddit. Our Discord knows about it. Twitch and YouTube are live now and talking about it. It's out there. And Jeremy, I don't want to turn it over to you because I feel like I don't want to put that burden on you.
I mean, it's okay. I was
Okay.
I was the one obviously who got the first announcement and quote unquote know the most about the situation, although not all of it is clear at this moment. But SB Nation essentially decided today that there will be no more team podcasts on their feed. So unfortunately, it's not just us that is being impacted by this, but any SB Nation podcast feed is now done. Essentially, they've decided to take the company in a different direction, and so yeah, that means exactly what it sounds like it means. This podcast, as it currently exists, will not exist. They unfortunately let Chris go today, effective today.
I'm gone already.
Yeah. I didn't mean to break that news. You will still get paid with the podcast downloads through the week. But
no, the email I got said through April 30th. You are breaking news to me.
You will still get paid for the downloads through April 30th. Does it not say that?
Okay,
Maybe.
that's okay. Yeah, effective today, but I'm still getting paid for any. So like, I'm going to get my last paycheck basically in May.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That said, they have told me to essentially stop podcasting. Like, if you wanted to do a podcast to say goodbye, which I guess that's what this is, do that. But they want our podcast feed to go dormant. And unfortunately, they've also made the decision to hold on to the RSS feed, which means if we wanted to take this in another direction and take this off platform, we'll have to start from scratch. And we've had some preliminary talks. We've had a ton of people reach out with interest, and it's too early for us to get into those discussions and say what the future of this podcast will be. But I guess we owe it to you guys to just lay the cards on the table. That's where we stand right now, that the future of this podcast is unknown at best.
Yeah, and I guess to frame things a bit and put things into perspective, like Jeremy said, he found out about this before we did, a little bit before we did. But I mean, my email came at 2:04 p.m. Eastern time, and in between then and now, which is 6:15 p.m. Eastern time, I do want to say like the outpouring of support has been incredible. And not only on Twitter, but there's so much to go back and circle back to, and there's a lot to talk about. But to Jeremy's point about people already reaching out about new opportunities and things like that, like sure, like all of this is scary because change is scary, but to think that in the course of 4 hours we've had so many people reach out because they know we do good stuff over here, and it's not just the analysis, it's not just me twisting Jeremy's arm to do mock drafts. It's not Chris putting on a luchador mask and, acting a fool. Like it's, they recognize all of the greater impact stuff, I think, and the awesome community that we've created of all of you guys who are listening and all of you guys who are watching. And, yeah, it sucks. It's a sucky day.
Yeah.
I ate a bunch of McDonald's to try to make myself feel better, and it didn't work, but this will help.
I'm learning a couple things new myself, particularly that we have to stop immediately because I was going to keep going through the draft.
We'll see. Listen, there's still stuff to be hammered out. Let me before you go into that, let me kind of run down the things we do and don't know. I kind of ran through the things we do know, things we don't know. The future of the Twitch, the live streaming, essentially. We're not entirely sure. If I had to guess, we might have to change the name of some of that stuff, but I would imagine our YouTube page will probably be untouched in terms of all the awesome stuff that Miko and Morgan are doing over there.
We own the YouTube. We own the Twitch.
Yeah.
They don't get that. They never will. They have no right to any of it. None.
A lot of you have reached out and say, go off and do your own independent thing. And I think for certain that Chris and Ryan would be able to do that. I'm not entirely certain if I'm able to do that, since I will still remain a full-time employee of SB Nation as a writer for Pride of Detroit. I'm not sure if they're going to allow me to do something externally. I just don't have the answer to that question right now. So,
it's honestly the least that they could do,
You would think. So
it's genuinely, it's different from the situation that happened when they cut a lot of podcasts last year, where a lot of those podcasts were gone, and because they weren't generating as much, they were allowed to walk with their RSS feeds. And for those who don't know what an RSS feed is, when you subscribe on Spotify or Apple, those aren't hosted there. What they do get pull is a web file called an RSS feed. That RSS file tells them where to download from the actual servers the episodes. It also tracks everything. So like when you subscribe, those platforms knows it's our show because of the RSS feed. When you leave a review, when you subscribe, when you give us 5 stars, when you download a podcast, it's all thanks to that feed. Without that, we have to start over. We have to if we did something after this, you'd have to find the new one, subscribe again, leave reviews again. And I know you're sitting there saying, oh, that's easy, but there's a lot of people that would have to apply to get back up to our old numbers. And it would have to come at a time of the year where it's right after the draft and people are looking for the stuff. Like, it's coming at a very bad time. But it's something that can be overcome. It's just a matter of, can we do it? And it's something we're still working through together. What it should look like, how we can get people involved, what the content output would have to be, whether there would be a Patreon, whether we take an offer to go with someone else. Do we even have the time or effort to be independent? I have a lot more time in my life. I would like to think I could help out with that. Jeremy, I know, is in a lot of different places. Ryan has a lot of concerns on his end. I'm not ready to say goodbye, because as I said, this is something I've worked on for 9 years, and I could have probably worked on it harder. And I feel really upset because I took an extra work shift on Monday, which is why I wasn't in for the mock draft, thinking that it's fine. I'll be able to do another podcast. Jeremy was like, you haven't done a podcast in a while. I feel bad. Let's have you on for a first bite. I'm like, cool. I guess this counts as the first bite.
I guess
the monkey paw has curled.
Jesus Christ. It's hard for me because I'm kind of like solidifying up. They've already tried to throw me to the curb before. I have no love for this company at this point. None. And if I'm already not a member, then like I I don't know what they want to do with the feed. I would urge you and tell you very much so, because I doubt they're going to listen to all of this, that whatever comes next is not going to be us. You shouldn't be bamboozled by it. And I'm going to try to get out the word as best I can on where you can find this new stuff if we do go and make new stuff. I want to make new stuff, but I can't do it alone. I need Jeremy and Ryan on my side, and we have to overcome their hurdles first. And I don't know what that would look like. I've never been one who wants to take it behind a Patreon completely. I believe information should be free and out there for people. I believe that I've never wanted to encroach upon Detroit Lions breakdown, like some have suggested with Eric. That's their thing. That's not ours. We've always respected the distance. I don't know what to add other than to say, like, you guys have been awesome to us. I know there's a lot of hate of me sometimes out there, especially on the reviews and stuff. And I know I'm not the greatest host out there. My brain is messed up from years of just trying to deal with anxiety. I get a lot of stuff wrong all the time. I love doing this, though. I put myself back through college thinking I could do podcasts and radio. And this is the team that I have the most passion for. And I want to keep doing it. And most importantly, I want to keep doing it with Jeremy and Ryan. But we have some huge stumbling blocks to get over first.
Yeah, and I think you underscored a really important point, because I see a lot of you are heartbroken today in the live audience, and all the tweets and emails I've already gotten, texts. It's definitely a two-way street. To me, it's the most fun I have with this website is hanging out with you two, hanging out with Eric, hanging out with the live audience, doing the call-in shows, all that sort of stuff. And it's to have all of that ripped out from underneath us in an instant is it's devastating. There's no other word for it. SB Nation has always pushed community, and it has never felt like a community as much as it does when we're doing this podcast. It's a two-way street. We hear from you, you hear from us, you see us. We get instant reactions. We hear you guys on the call-in shows, and it's just, to me, it's unfathomable that SB Nation can look at that and look at all that we've accomplished with this podcast, with the charities we've had involved, and say, no thanks. It doesn't make sense to me, and it's the frustrating part. It's the heartbreaking part, and it's why I'm with Chris. Like, I want to fight for whatever's next in this podcast. I really do, and I hope SB Nation, Vox Media is smart enough to not let this thing die completely, or at least.
Well, that's my worry, is that they won't let it die completely, but they clearly have a plan that doesn't include us, and they don't understand that you can't just take something and just completely replace it and just expect people to not notice. This is about what we do is about personalities, how we connect to a community. And I only bring that up to say, because I find that idea of what they seem to want to do genuinely offensive to our listeners. Like they're just some idiots that you can just pull a rug over their eyes and they won't notice.
And going back to talking about everybody impacted by this decision from SB Nation, like, I mean, the Bleeding Green people. I mean, those guys were the flag bearers of the SB Nation podcast. I mean, they were the gold standard, and all of them, they're done. So I mean, like, it's far reaching, and I know right now, I'm sorry, Twitch, but I don't have you open right now, and I'm not looking at the audience because that'll probably send me over the edge. But Yeah, I think that's the thing that's most frustrating is back to Jeremy's point about I don't know how SB Nation can look at everything that we've done and say, no, we're good on that. And it's not just good feels. You know what I mean? It's like there's data, right? Like, I mean, this is stupid. It's probably gonna start getting to me, but like, over the course of 9 years, like seeing like the downloads increase like they've had, I feel like I remember exactly where I was when Chris would share a graph or Jeremy would share a graph and be like, Jesus Christ, do you see like all the people who are listening? And it's like, you know, um, it was just it, but that's my point, right? Is like I don't know how anybody could look at the growth of this podcast and see all the support that it has and all the good that comes from it and just say, I don't want to be in business with that. That doesn't seem interesting. And the proof is in the pudding because like I said, in the course of 4 hours, there's been so many people who've reached out to the Pride of Detroit Twitter account and sent DMs and been like, hey, we want to be in business with you guys. We want to be in business with you guys. And um it's tough because there are so many pieces that are up in the air. Like I want to do this, Chris wants to do this, Jeremy wants to do this, but can Jeremy even do this? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it I don't know. I don't want to talk about it in the sense of like if one of us isn't here, it doesn't feel right. But like that would, I mean, that's the truth. Like that's the reality of the situation. Is like
It's changing. Whatever's next, it's going to be different.
Yeah. I feel like I have to blame myself though at the end of the day.
No, let's not do that
No,
right
because
now.
you mentioned
No,
you
we're
mentioned
not.
9 years. No, but like you mentioned 9 years, and the email I got from this cocksmoker at SB Nation. And guess
Okay,
what? I'm fine.
Chris.
What?
I like this is still like Jeremy's full-time employer. Like probably
Well,
not.
I was fired already, but yes. All right, give me a second. I'll cut that out.
Okay.
You mentioned 9 years, and like that sticks in my craw a little bit, Ryan, because the email I got thanked us for 5 years. For 5 years. What did we do 5 years ago? SB Nation came to us with a very heavy handed ask that we join their network. And one of the things we did when we joined that network was we gave away our rights to the RSS feed. We didn't think about it at the time. We just wanted to protect our own little domain. And that's the tail end of it. I should have spoken up. I should have read closer at the text. I should have figured out something then. Because that's what, like, this wouldn't be an issue if we had just told them to kick rocks, change the name back then, and just kept our affiliation with Pride of Detroit and not have done what we've done. And unfortunately, we're caught in our own net. And this is what corporations do. They love to talk you up. They love to talk you up, but they are honeyed liars at the end of the day. And I'm not trying to do an anarchist, communist spiel or anything, but like, what else am I supposed to believe when it's just, you guys are doing a great job. Yay, we cut all these other pockets, but don't worry, we're in it for the long haul with you guys. You're telling us before the season, like, we're committed to you for the long term. The long term only meant one NFL season? Really? Things change, but why don't you try to do right by people? Like, this is why you want to talk about why you have a massive culture that doesn't trust people like SB Nation and Vox and all these companies out there. It's behavior like this. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, it's very hard for me to just look at this and you're supposed to be professional, but what they did is not professional. You can dress it up, call it professional, say it's just business, but it's not just business because it's really dumb business at the end of the day. And that's not professional to me. You want respect, then you have to give it to us too.
Jeremy, I want you to go, but the one thing I want to say real quick to Chris's point is like I read the email, but I didn't really like read the email. You know what I mean? But I did just connect the dots on the point you said earlier about, hey, we're really not supposed to be podcasting, and if we want to figure out a way for you guys to say, goodbye to your audience or whatever, like reading the email, like, if you have any questions or want to figure out a way to say goodbye to our audio audiences, please let them know, or please let me know, and we will evaluate them on a case by case basis. It's like, it's not your audience.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
It won't
Like,
listen to you.
Don't say our. Like, you didn't help cultivate this, right?
No. And you're acting like they're stupid drones who'll just keep listening to you without us. They notice. People aren't dumb, man. We can keep looking at this world and think we're all smarter than everyone else. You're not. Like, people are smart. I'm sorry, Jeremy. I've been talking too much. I'm going to shut up.
I don't know if I have that much more to say. It's unfortunate because when we started this 9 years ago, and when we made the decision to jump to SB Nation, there was no reason for us to expect that this was going to happen, other than just the way corporations are. But we were on the rise at that point. We were getting a lot of fame. We were having a lot of fun, and to be supported by a bigger company that could provide us more opportunities, that could potentially get us involved in live things and sponsorships and all that sort of stuff, like, that was the next step in this thing. And given that SB Nation, like I said, has always valued themselves on community, it's what every single time, every single growth effort they reach out, any sort of idea that they have for us is like, we want to get community. We want to get those people who are super fans of you guys, because those are the guys that click a million times. Those are the people who will buy sponsorships. Those will the guys buy hats and shirts and all that sort of stuff. And it seemed like, okay, yeah, all of this makes sense. We're a perfect fit for you guys. You're a perfect fit for us. And that's what makes today incredibly difficult, because it just seems counterintuitive on their part to throw that all away in an instant.
It is, but these people aren't working on rationality. They're not. And if you think and if they are listening somehow and they think they are, like, prove it. Prove it. What do you think you're going to do with this? And I know I'm getting too close to the boundary again that I already had to edit out one comment I made. But, like this is something that, like, again, y'all out there, you're not stupid. You're not. I might be stupid, but you're not. You'll notice. But I know this isn't the end. I would like to say it's not the end. I know we have a lot to go over before I can definitively say it's not the end. I want to build something else. I want to do something for you guys. It breaks my heart hearing what Jeremy just said, that we're supposed to stop right now, because I was really looking forward to the draft. And believe you me, like, if there's a way to keep streaming during the draft, I will. I will. I don't know what we have to work out, but
yeah, like I would say at this point, I would encourage people to follow us on Twitch and YouTube, because those, at least as of right now, are not necessarily in jeopardy. I don't know if we're going to be live streaming. Probably won't be live streaming as much as we have been. I don't know if we will be at all, but there'll still be a bunch of content on YouTube from Miko, from Morgan, and the writing side is not changing at all. So if you're concerned about that, Pride of Detroit as a website is not changing at all. All that stuff is staying the same. But yeah, this is all up in the air in terms of the audio stuff.
The only problem is that, again, they had already canceled my particular contract with the written and video side, and I was basically only getting paid through the podcast. I would like to say I'm going to keep doing more, but I'm going to have to talk with Jeremy about how I even make some of that revenue back. Even if it's just like talking about Twitch and YouTube. But again, like, that's secondary. That's completely secondary to what we want to do.
Yeah, the only thing I have left is I started making a list of people I want to thank, which I almost don't want to do because it feels like I'm officially signing off, and I really don't want to do that. But these people do deserve some thanks for their help along the way, so I'm going to do it anyways. Brian Shepard first of all, who almost 100% of you don't know who that is, but he made our theme song that lasted basically the entire run of the show.
Almost got us DMCA'd a bunch, but
that's right.
No fault of his own.
I know he promised to make us a new one. Don't worry about that right now. Maybe down the line. And you know what? If
wait until we give you a new title.
Hey man, I still like it. I still like it a lot, and I thank him so much every day.
John Gennaro, who was our first kind of main podcast guy here at SB Nation before they let him go.
Can I interrupt you on something on John?
Sure.
John is the
Wouldn't
reason...
be a podcast if Chris wasn't interrupting, so please go.
You're gonna make me feel very self-aware about that. You know that, right? Like people yell at me all the time about that. I wouldn't still be doing this podcast for the years that I did if it wasn't for John. When they SB Nation cut me the first time over the California laws, because they were too short-sighted to see what they could get out of California freelancers. John figured out a way to make sure I was still getting paid under the table by not going over the freelance allowance. Like, it's why I could only produce but not be on shows for a summer. And then it started to go away and I could come back. But if it wasn't for John's advice, if it wasn't for John going to bat to keep me around, for John to hide my involvement in the POD cast and to really fight that I could still make a fair share of what I was making on the podcast, I would have pieced out. I would have had to have pieced out years ago. 4 years ago, I would have had to piece out. John,
he was very good at his job.
I owe so much to John. And John truly believed in this project.
Also want to thank Michael Kist, who took over for him. Also did a fantastic job, and unfortunately, he was among the full-timers laid off today as well. RJ Ochoa, Pete Sweeney, Rachelle Pivette. Sorry, Ryan, the people involved in the Monday Football Monday that gave me the opportunity to be on that show for a little bit. They're going through all the same stuff that we are today, unfortunately, and Rachelle was another person who was let off full-time. Brandon Lee Gowden from Bleeding Green Nation, who helped us kind of get off the ground a little bit, also helped us get our sponsorship with Righteous Felon. So thank you also to Righteous Felon. I haven't broken the news to you guys yet, so we'll see what the future is there. Thank you to all those.
Always do a new contract.
That's right.
You want some more Whores d'Vore.
Thanks to all the Pride of Detroit contributors along the way who helped fill in, or even, there were some long-term fill-ins. Mansour was in here a bunch. John Whitaker, Kyle Yost, and his fruit cocktails or fruit salad takes on Thanksgiving.
Hamza with no shirt.
Hamza, the shirtless one. Alex Reno filled in a bunch. Morgan and Miko have done an awesome job recently filling in, and I continue to urge you guys to follow them on our Pride of Detroit YouTube page, because they are not going to stop doing that awesome work over there. Mike Payton, of course, did a couple of series for our podcast back in the day. Did some really good work. If they're still on the feed, go back and listen. There's some good interviews back then. Jerry Mallory, who of course got us started on audio video content way back when, before I was even running this thing. I wish we could have had you on more, Jerry.
One more time. I just wanted one more with Jerry.
Joseph Busek, who was on episode 1 of the podcast without me. I was not an original part of the original cast, but Joseph Busek had, I believe, the first couple episodes. You guys would know better than I would.
And then it was just one episode, and then we replaced him immediately with Alex Reno.
Well, appreciate you getting
the worst decision we ever made, by the way. I'm kidding. I love Alex. I'm kidding.
Kentley Platty, of course, whether he was here as a guest or as a Pride of Detroiter, always fantastic. The original mustached one of Pride of Detroit. And then, of course, Eric, of course. One of the most fortunate ads I've been able to have to this staff, and thankfully he's not going away on the writing side, and I'm sure, and thankfully his podcast is still out there, Detroit Lions Breakdown Podcast, and if you're looking for an immediate fill-in, I highly recommend that. All the guests that we've had along the way, obviously far too many to name, but anyone who's ever taken their time for, free, right? We do these things for and just out of the good of their heart, and to see people who stooped to our level maybe is not the best way to put it, but full-time beat writers who, I know how hard of a job that is and how busy of a job it is for them to stop by our kind of thrown together podcast here is, I don't know, it's unbelievable that you have that sort of heart for non-traditional media. And that includes everyone on the Detroit Lions beat, because we've basically had every single one of them step through these virtual doors, and their respect means a lot to me because I respect them a hell of a lot. So I think that's kind of the end of my list, other than obviously every single one of you listening, watching. As I said before, this has always been a two-way street for me. So while I know you guys have gotten a lot out of this, I don't think you understand just how much that we all get out of it from you guys. It brings us life. I mean, the 2016 season with all the comebacks would not have been nearly as fun if it weren't for us jumping on these streams after the game to just stand here with our jaw open at all the comebacks. Last year wouldn't have been anything like it would have been. And for you guys to also offer us a platform during the lean years so that we can scream our head off when the Matt Patricia eras were here. Like that was therapy for us. So all the support, whether you were watching, all the subscribers, there are a bunch of donations coming in, which you don't have to do. We're going to be okay. All that means so much to me. And I hope to God I don't lose it, because it's just not the same in the comment sections. It's just not the same in emails. These live, and damn it, I really wish we would have gotten a live show.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that one day we can make that happen, because I want to see so many, and a lot of you guys I have met face to face, but I'd love to be able to do that to a large group of you guys, because you guys deserve it, and I want it. That's all I got.
I'd like to thank some people then too, if you don't mind. Unless you want to go. I should probably shut up for a bit. Ryan, do you have anyone you want to thank first?
I don't have a list.
Sorry, I didn't mean to one up you guys.
No. I've got a few names to add to it. I'm just going to. I want to really thank the guys from the Roar of the Lions UK. And while we are trying to figure out what comes next, I would really suggest you check them out. They've been and I will probably try to join some of their shows for, if they will have me for the draft, if we can't, just because, they've been very good to us. They've kind of been, our unofficial UK subdivision, and, very good to us all the way, especially Matthew Turner and everyone over there has been like really, really good in support. I want to thank James Jimenez, who I know is a creative director over at Hustle Belt. He's someone who I don't talk to enough. And I always keep telling myself I'm going to have more time to reach out and tell people around me who is important, who I just kind of like admire from afar. And he's one of them. And I don't really talk to him a lot. And I know he's taking a break from Twitter now over all these things being slashed, and he's taking it hard. I had a bunch more. I want to thank everyone who's been on with us as a guest. And I want to thank the Lions. They have given us such incredible access through the years to have on players, to have on coaches. Can I tell them? I'm going to do it anyway. We were very close at one point during an offseason having Dan Campbell. That's how generous I really want to thank.
And we also didn't throw a fit when you didn't join the show like other podcasts out there.
I also want to thank. Why am I forgetting his name? I met him at the Chargers game. I should probably cut this part out. Hold on 1 second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I have to. Like runs all the social stuff. Runs all the social stuff
For who?
for the Lions.
Oh, Eamon?
Okay, I know this is being saved on the video, so I can't even like edit myself out. So I'm so sorry.
that if we continue on video only, you're in trouble.
I know. I can't just be like, cut that. I could make cuts. Actually, I could make cuts in the back end. But anyway, I want to thank. I want to thank Eamon for the Lions, who I actually finally I remember Jeremy, you insisted I like meet him, and he insisted to meet me when he came out for the LA Chargers game we went to this year. Because I feel like he's really backed a lot of what we have done on Pride of Detroit. Again, I really do have to impress. It's not just us. Like the Lions have liked what we have done, even if there's been years, especially in the Patricia years, where we've been kind of critical of the team. Sometimes very critical. Sometimes really coming in here raw and hurt and really the last one I want to thank, because now I'm going on too long, is I want to thank everyone who repeatedly, still to this day, years after the fact, reaches out. And I don't talk about it a lot, but about my article talking about my background as a sexual assault survivor. And it means so much to this day. I've never wanted to be an advocate. I never wanted that to be part of my personality, or even put that forward as like the first thing to come out for me, or even to do it as like I never wanted sympathy for anything of it, anything with it. But the amount of people who still reach out to me to this day about it, thank you guys so much. And I probably should do more with it, but I don't. And most importantly, I want to thank Jeremy and Ryan. You guys have been the best friends I've had for 9 years. And I want to have you guys my friends for the rest of my life. No matter what happens, no matter how far apart we go, anything like that. As I tell people all the time, it's not just a business. It's not just us fucking around in a vast, giant content mill farm. We are friends, and we do this because we're friends. And that's more precious than anything else in life. When working in a system like we have, where we have to grind so hard, where we have to put so much of our livelihoods on the line for how much we have to do to get a few dollars out of what we want to do and what we're good at doing in life, to have found two guys that I can genuinely call my friends day in and day out, and I can text silly stuff to Ryan at any point, and I can, bug Jeremy to jump on a Zoom call so we can kind of like have our own therapy sessions together over what we're going through. Like that I found a piece of Eden here. I want to keep it going. And that's why I'm saying I'm not leaving. I don't want to leave. You can turn off the lights, but I'm still going to be here. I'm done.
I don't know what's left to say. Everyone on Twitch is using up their channel points, which
Hey, don't do that.
We might not. Our Twitch page might not be dead. I tried to make that clear, but you know what? If you want to burn all of your channel points on things that I'm not going to redeem,
they can watch and make more channel points back, Jeremy. That's what it means.
Yeah. I don't
And
know.
by the way, like YouTube, you are also going nuts, and I'm seeing the super chats coming in. You guys are phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry we just started to get to know you guys.
No,
Over
we're
there.
going to continue to know you.
Yeah.
Real talk.
How about that?
We should probably end the podcast version and just
Yeah.
hang out
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit because I got a
Yeah,
lot of people to thank. But if you are listening on the podcast feed and you've never made it to one of our live shows, just know that we appreciate you guys just as much, whether you left a review, whether you just listened and was kind of a silent listener, silent passenger this entire ride. You are the guys that started this whole thing. You're the reason why we were able to do this. You're the reason why we continue to do this, and you'll be the reason why we continue to fight to do this.
I'm sorry. 2 more people I completely forgot to tear about. Mrs. Ruby, first and foremost, who might as well just be a 4th member sometimes with all the support she gives us. And Bridget Case, who we have repeatedly rated on Twitch all the time, who I'm very sorry we didn't have a chance to get her on the podcast, former NFL cheerleader who runs her own Twitch channel now and some live watch logs. I should probably also thank Kyle Barber, Baltimore Beatdown. He's someone I've kind of got to know a little bit better as a friend on top of everything else. And Robert Zaglinski, who I know we haven't talked to in a while. And I know we kind of go back and forth, but Rob reached out to me pretty quickly. Yeah, sorry. I'm done with the second part. Just everything to what Jeremy said. Thank you guys. I'm sorry. I'm kind of losing it a bit.
I think that's it then. I think it's probably time to dismount and see what's next.
All right. Well, for myself, for Jeremy, for Ryan, look for us at Pride of Detroit on X. Maybe we'll get some news there. At Chris Perfett on Twitter. At Detroit Online. At Ryan_POD. I will sign off by saying the motto once again on the flag of the city of Detroit, on the seal of the city of Detroit, is Marama Speliora Resurgit Cineribus. We hope for better things, and it will rise from the ashes. And for a line I've always said, and I'm going to continue to say, because I think there will be better things. We'll see you Starside.
Recording stopped.
I didn't want to stop it. I really didn't. I'm losing it.
It's hard, man.
Is it a coincidence that once they shut us down, the Tigers lost
No.
for the first time this year? I think not.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to see something 9 years in the making going away like that. Took a lot of work from everybody involved. All right, let me try to get through these alerts. It's going to take a really long time, and then if you guys have any questions, I'll try to answer anything that I can answer. Like I said, there are a lot of things up in the air. I have a couple more meetings this week or tomorrow, I guess. But there are a lot of things I just don't know. Big DMG, thank you for the 13 months. Karen, thank you for the 21 months. Says my heart is broken for you guys. Lost Ocean, 37 months, says this is not the end. Love you guys. Captain James Kirk, 36 months, says I'm so heartbroken. You guys are the best. POD forever. VR Master, 18 months, says this sucks so hard. The Pintar, 14 months, says POD for life. We're Lions, 100 bits. POD forever. Sundog, 15 months, subscribed to the channel. Jason F65, 15 months, says love you guys. D-Man, 40 months, subscribed to the channel. Captain James Kirk, 100 bits, says I will 100% support you guys no matter where you are podcasting. Thank you. Alien Vivitor, 37 months, subscribed on Twitch, says positivity, appreciate you guys. And I know many of us will follow y'all wherever you go and whatever you do. Lefty Detroit, 48 months, says it's not over. Le Mans Builder, 17 months, subscribed to the channel, says wherever you go, we will cookie. Not sure if that was an autocorrect or something that's just going over my head, but thank you. Uagin Maker, probably pronounced that wrong. Thank you for the 8 months. Says so much for this. We'll see. Matt Hoffman, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Bailey, thank you for the $50 super chat on YouTube. McVeigh Rob, thank you for the 25 tip on Twitch. Captain James Kirk 50 bits says, I feel dirty sending bits now. However, the main show can be what happens now. And we'll see.
The main show.
Damien
you
Smith.
Always take First Bite. I've always liked the name First Bite as well, but
yeah,
we've got plenty to work with. Main show, First Bite.
True. Damien Smith, £5 over on Super Chat says, do Super Chats go to you guys? Happy to give more. Very sad. Is this the Best Lines podcast out there? Yeah. Everything that we get through Twitch and YouTube is not touched by Boxer SB Nation.
It is touched by Twitch and YouTube, though.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct. Booze and Bub, thank you for 17 months. It says, today's a sad day. Adam Hatfield, thank you for subscribing on Twitch. Baird, thank you for following on YouTube. I'm sorry, I got those mixed up. Adam, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Baird on Twitch. Chris Merkel, subscribing on YouTube. Adam Vribel, $20 super chat says, it ain't going to do nothing, but it's a way to show support. You guys have built an incredible community. They will always have your backs. I appreciate that, Andrew. Ross Longhorn, thank you for the $20 super chat. Zach Wenlin, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Steven, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Jonathan Wallace, $10 super chat. Thank you. Chris Shepard, 31 months subscribed to the channel, says, by far the worst news I've heard all year. I love you guys and look forward to seeing what you do next to follow. Thank you, Chris. JV, thank you for the 18 months. So thank you guys. I was listening to y'all before I stumbled onto Twitch and was surprised there was a video version of the podcast and that it was live. Thank you for fulfilling my Lions cravings. Thank you, JV. Data and Lore, 22 months, says, I will follow you guys into the depths. That might be where we have to go. Scott, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Cordy Aaron, 52 months, one of our OGs, says, I'll still be around for whatever the next version is. Even if I can't always make it live, I'll always be in support of this crew.
Real quick, I know there's a lot of them asking too, just in case for whatever reason we can't use this Twitch for branding reasons or whatever, I will be live on twitch.tv/nodecaf for the draft. And I've been meaning to start my own YouTube channel as well, just for not for sports content, for other stuff. So try to get some streams there as well. Yes, the Discord is still in our hands as well.
Yep.
I will probably rename it in the coming days. I don't know what to, but the Discord will still be there.
Garrett, thank you for the 25 Canadian dollar super chat. Appreciate that. Nick the Greek 200 bit says, now's the time to do some kind of fundraiser seed capital thing. Reach out to that dude in Tampa that John Ledyard knows. Make no economic sense to shut down the podcast. I'm assuming that's some reference to the Arif piece.
I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm going to miss these streams with him just in the obscure shit that he throws out there.
And then another 100 bits from Nick the Greek, of course, just saying Matt Patricia's ample bosoms.
There it is. There it is.
Matthew, thank you for subscribing on YouTube. Angry Dung Beetle, 5 gifted subs here on Twitch. Kula, 17 months subscribed, says, I need you to come back. We're going to do everything we can. 10 gifted subs from Lefty Detroit. Christian Zilko, thank you for the follow on YouTube. Honolulu Blues, 5 gifted subs. Det Lions Boy, 400 bits. Thank you. Jason, $10, says, going through the turnaround of the team in the last 3 years with you guys has made it 10 times more fun. I'll follow wherever you guys end up. Liam, 2 gifted subs. Kula, $200 donation, says, love you. Let's keep it going. Heisenberg the Cook, thank you for the follow. Lefty Detroit, 10 gifted subs. Bailey, 6 months. RGA, 1 gifted sub. Bailey, 5 gifted subs. JT Sam, 23 months, says, can't tell you how much you guys meant to me in whatever form this takes next. I'm there, and I'm sure everyone else will be too. You guys are what make POD what it is. $5 from Prodigy Freebird. It says, can't you guys state in your own channels together? We love hearing you 3 talk. We'll figure it out. I'm not sure what, but we'll figure something out. Joshua Mercer, 45-bit, says, what do you guys need to keep going? Cut through paperwork first, and then we'll see. Papa Bert, 26-month subscribe, says, not goodbye. See you later. Love you guys. Chris Shepard, 5 gifted subs. Austin Mammoth, 19-month subscribe to the channel, says, how should we tell the Twitch babies what happened? I don't have a good answer for that. They're gonna have to learn to live on their own at a young age. Simmons, 5 months, says, love you guys and everything you do. Completely unfair what they're doing to you, especially after posting about all the accolades literally yesterday. Corporate America blows. This podcast doesn't. Love you all. Thank you, Simmons.
Trust me, I think a lot of people on Twitter have let them know that particular post. Them parading around talking about, oh, we're up for so many awards. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Herculins, thank you for the 17-month subscribe, says, I love you guys. You gave me a home away from home, and I will always follow you everywhere, anywhere. Tom Cruise's dad, 14-month subscribe, channel, says, I'll be there for whatever is next as well. Ungrateful Lambo, 9 months, says, this podcast has been one of the best parts of Detroit sports over the last 9 years. Let us know how we can support you guys without supporting SB. Well, as some have pointed out, I am still full-time employed by SB Nation, so I'd appreciate if you didn't boycott the website.
So clip anything that Jeremy's saying.
I can do whatever. I'm a free agent. I'm a free agent right now. Jeremy broke it to me on stream right now. Effective immediately.
Tough Cam, thank you for the 14 months, says, reader sacks love for the 3rd time tonight. Texas Lion, thank you for gifting a sub. Mr. Broker, 24 months, subscribe to the channel. Lasermouth, 1,500 bits, says, love you guys, love you, buddy. Big West, 100 bits, says, I made a Twitch account specifically for Pride of Detroit, and is one of the better decisions I've made in a long time. Will gladly be following wherever and whatever you guys choose to do next. Thank you, Big West. Bryce Olson, 24 months, subscribe to the channel, says, love you guys. None of the other podcasts come close. I'm going wherever you guys end up. And Riley, 8 months, says, I love y'all. You created something amazing that I'm so happy to be a part of. You've been so kind and wonderful to me and have filled so many of my work shifts with your shows. I hope to see things continue in some way. And we're caught up. I think. If I missed you, I'm sorry, but
You're just going to inspire someone to drop just like 30. There it is, Zack Snyder, 84. 15 months, J Pook, 730.
21 months, says, thank you always. Thank you, guys. I don't know what now. I wish I had an answer.
I thought we'd be able to still keep podcasting through the month. I thought we'd at least be able to like wear it out.
We might still be able to, but their guidance to me, at least in the initial stages today, was to send out a farewell and leave it dormant. But I have another meeting tomorrow, and hoping to get some answers and get a lot better news than we got today. So we'll see.
Yeah, I can only hope that the blowback is significant enough that they'll rethink at least some of this.
Nope.
I mean, they're going to shut it down, but at the very least, like, let us have more of a goodbye. I don't understand what they intend to do with the feeds. I understand starting your own shit is hard. I should know. We did it. Maybe Vox could try doing the same instead of being vultures.
$5 from Parker over on YouTube says, you guys have made life so much easier when it can be so hard. I love you guys, and thank you, especially Chris, for all you've overcame to be here. And 10 gifted subs from Lefty Detroit and 20 months from Babalam. So sorry guys, this is trash. I'm looking forward to whatever you guys do next, leaving POD if the cast is gone.
Matthew Mileto also jumped in with another $20 on Super Chat on YouTube as well.
Yep, I see that now.
You guys have always been generous to us. You've always been incredibly good to us. I still remember how long Jeremy had to keep that mustache.
If only I had, instead of done Movember, just done all the save the stash, shave the stash things and racked up all the gifted subs we could have gotten.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I rather help charity.
It's tough. It's really tough. It's, you think you're just doing something for the fun of it, and you just, again, I don't blame myself. I don't blame anyone. I kind of blame myself a little bit, but like, you just really have to find something you believe in so much and just really, really protect it and really not let someone have a say over it like we ended up doing. Because at the end of the day, the only thing going through my head is betrayal. I feel betrayed. I feel genuinely like, and again, I know those aren't professional feelings, but if I'm not allowed to feel human in this moment, then just like, what's the point of doing? Then all professionalism is, at the end of the day, is trying to hold back a person while you fuck them over.
It's worth saying, because we guys owe you a lot in terms of last Movember, that I'm still going to try to get as much of that done as we possibly can.
I have to do the cooking stream too, which would also help if my refrigerator was working. It's not. I'm living out of a cooler right now.
But yeah, no. Listen, you guys earned it. So in some way or form, we'll get some of that stuff done. I don't know if we can do an overall stream at this point, but we'll figure something out to make it worth your while. And I don't want to stop doing Movember. I've even had some extra charities reach out to me saying they want to be a part of it. So in some form or another, that's going to continue. That's non-negotiable. And I'm going to make that very clear to Vox if they don't know already, because like I said, this leg of Pride of Detroit, which was not always an official leg of Pride of Detroit, has been the most fulfilling work I've done. Whether it is hanging out with you guys or doing charity or whatever. Having players on, talking to Amon Ra, talking to Graham Glasgow, talking to Golden Tate, talking to Aiden Hutchinson, talking to Deuce Staley or Antoine Randall L. Lomas Brown, Herman Moore, Barry frickin' Sanders. Just having the opportunity to do all that stuff changed my life in a way that, like, listen, it's no secret that Vox hasn't treated their employees well. Pretty much in perpetuity. And so even when I felt like I wasn't being treated well, other than in this moment right now, like, I did it out of a labor of love because this part of the job felt so rewarding.
Well, again, and I remember when those first cuts come through, and like, again, they reaffirmed to us, and you told us like, oh yeah, they're committed to us. They're committed to us for a long time. And again, like, that's the part that enrages me. Like, that's the part that makes me like want to say things that I can't say here out of respect for you, Jeremy. Is like, you can't do that. You can't. I mean, I know you just did, and you're going to keep doing that, but like, one of these days you'll be on the receiving end of that too. Person who did that. Like, and you'll regret it. You'll fucking regret it. And the curse I'm laying on you tonight is not going to be fun either. Like, don't do this.
Careful.
Like,
careful laying curses. I just watched a whole documentary about it.
Mine against the Colts have worked out pretty well. I know.
It's not a documentary.
Jeremy, no, I know that the whole idea of rebounding on curses and everything, left-handed magic, Jeremy, I know. But trust me, the Italians, we know all about evil eyes.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh.
Go ahead. I don't know what else to say.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I feel like I've kind of hogged too much.
No, I just see a lot of people that are asking if I have anything to say, and I have everything to say and nothing to say at the same time, and I'm sure you guys probably feel similar to that.
Yeah.
Well, I've already said it. I've already said everything I need to.
It's you know, I don't know. 9 years is a long time.
I put myself back through school because of you guys. Like, I was doing the podcast so much that I felt, well, first off, I met one of my employers thanks to doing Pride of Detroit that allowed me to get back into radio. And between this and that job, I was like, in 2016, I thought, yes, I can change my life. I had just moved back home. I was in a bad spot, even though I was doing the podcast. I think I started doing the podcast after I moved back home. You guys never had me when I was living in Savannah. To let you behind the curtain, I did not do well out in Savannah. I lost all my money. I had to move back home. My mom came down and found my apartment in a state of disrepair because I wasn't taking care of it. Because I just couldn't get up in the morning. I met Ruby down there. Ruby came back up with me. Not much else did. When I got back to Toledo, I lived in my mom's place. I started working as a carpenter. And in the middle of that, that's when I applied to work at Pride of Detroit. The one thing that pulled me out of it was my friend, and I should have thanked him on the podcast itself, my friend Ross, who I was doing a college football podcast with at the time. Ross, who's still a good friend of mine, who now works, I won't say where he works, but my friend Ross really just came along with all the weird shenanigans I did. And when I was covering college football stuff, I put in my application for Pride of Detroit. And we started doing the podcast. A couple years later, I'm still working there, but I'm making money off the podcast. I'm talking with, an ESPN affiliate. I'm working local radio. And then in 2016, before I know it, I'm putting in an application to get a master's degree at USC. And they tell me they're going to kick money my way on a scholarship at USC because of what I'm doing on podcast work. And now I'm living in Los Angeles. Now I'm living in a place I only dreamed of living. Now I'm still working in the business. And now, unfortunately,
You aren't?
I am, but losing this podcast is losing a significant part of what allows me to live out here. So I have to start thinking of things. I have to start thinking of things really hard.
Let me go through the rest of these alerts as they continue to come in, which you guys are unbelievable. RGA 21 bits says POD for life. Andrew Yeager over on YouTube says, your voices have seen me through some of the darkest times of my life. No matter what was happening, listening to you guys felt like coming home. Thank you for all you've done and will do. I love you guys. Rural Lines UK 45 bits. Patman 25 bits. Patman another 46 bits. RGA 9 bits. Patman 24 bits. Scott 25 bits. Clearly 11 bits. Anthony Carpenter $50 over on YouTube says, I can't take your talent, guys. And the internet is a vast place with many platforms. You'll land on your feet. We will all still be here. Our good friend Mrs. Ruby stopped by. 38 months says, what's happening? I just got here. Start over. Not going to do that, but I see you've been keyed in via our live chat. $10 from Matthew Mileto. Says, let's get them over the sub goal before they go. It's the least we can do for hours of free content that literally got me through a tough day and listen about the Lions. You guys honestly don't know us anything more. You guys got us this far, and I can say with certainty, you guys are not the reason why this is going away.
No, you're blameless.
Pride of Detroit
Blameless.
has been booming for years and years and years, and they continue to use us as an example, both on the website, on the newsletter, and here as the gold standard, and that is all due to you guys.
If I'll be honest, if I can be honest and let you behind the curtain a little bit too, and Jeremy, you can tell me to shut up at any point in this. We might be suffering from our success, and that's why we don't have our RSS feed.
Not
Just like
completely
DJ
wrong.
Khaled said.
500 bits from Laser Mouse. Jstino, 8 months subscribe to the channel. And Will.i.am, thank you for the 100 bits. All right, caught up again. Thank you, everybody.
Jay Stino also subscribed.
Ruby, all of the stuff that we're getting through Twitch and YouTube is ours. They've never owned a piece of that. They only own the audio version of the rights for Pride of Detroit. There's a chance that we have to change names here. The question is how we can make this financially viable to continue to live stream if we're not getting the support from SB Nation on the audio side.
They were paying us per download, to be clear. And I would like to think it's very easy to go back and being independent. I remember the kind of money we were getting from Blog Talk Radio while we were independent. But I also think that era of podcasts is gone. But I'm going to go and take I'm going to download the Megaphone numbers tonight and take it and shop it around. I'm going to see what we can do.
Vinod, oh jeez. Thank you for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. Dustin Whitefield, thank you for the 10 gifted subs.
There is the words I thought I'd never see, and I completely forgot that person in thanking in Andrew Cotto. And unfortunately, his long dream of Yoast Nation might actually be happening. For those who don't get the reference, it's an in-joke we have on our Slack channel that we will eventually make an independent place called Yoast Nation based off of longtime editor Kyle Yost.
Well, I'm gonna go be sad by myself. My wife wanted to she wanted to go hang out with a friend and do some stuff. So I'm gonna go home. Probably tweet all my thank yous. So if you're on stream, follow me there. But like I was saying, 9 years is a long time, and
we were lucky.
It's like the better part of my adult life. So there's not room for
right now.
There's not room for more than a couple of adult men to be crying on a podcast right now.
Someone re-earth the meme of these three guys are every podcast host and just throw tears on them now.
Yeah, throw tears on their face. just throw tears on their face, and you got it.
Ryan, I will never forget Cancun. Cancun. Or not Cancun.
Punta Cana.
Punta Cana.
Tropical nonetheless, yeah. Oh man.
Do I even make a post about this, Jeremy? I don't want to.
Yeah, we should probably announce it to the website too.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know.
I will be very brief with it because as you can tell, like I can only do professional for so long and I keep lapsing back into like my bad habits.
Yeah. I don't want to make this like about me. Um, but I think so like this uh I mean what was this was the draft, the Ragnar draft, so 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Um and Kato brings up all of these and the banners and the the poster cards and stuff, and that was my second year of teaching full time. And like that's my job, you know. But yeah, this was something different. Been fun though.
Yes. Like I said, we've been lucky. Been lucky for you guys. Been lucky that the
Yeah.
Lions gave us the years that they did.
Uh yeah. Yeah. And this year, right? I mean, it was incredible. I mean, even in the lean ones, even in the lean years, like
We made it work. If anything,
that's
I
what
felt
made this top. I mean, this right here though is what made all those years tolerable, you know?
yeah. And I feel bad. I really do feel bad that there were years where like I remember when I was going through USC and leaving too much work to you guys. And I still remember when we did the first episode we really did on Matt Patricia, that garnered us a lot of fury at the time. And could I have probably kept like I really feel bad that I didn't spend more time on this, that I didn't have more of my own podcasts or just having more chances to talk to you guys. But it was really the highlight of my week, what I could get in here with you guys after all the shit I had dealt with on a Monday or a Sunday and see you both.
I mean, how many times after like a joyous win would we all just race to our computers so we can spend
Yeah, we'd send ETAs to each other.
Dude, I mean, too many to count, but like even going back to the beginning of this year, like the Chiefs game happens and like it's nighttime and like I can't get on a podcast, but like I go on my phone outside just to get on my phone on like an awful microphone and like because I want to be here, you know, um, through the good times and the bad times, you know. I truly mean that. Like, there's no way that I would have got through 2018 and 2019 and 2020 without this, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would have got through it, but it would have sucked a lot more. And I don't know. I think that's the thing that's kind of striking me the most is I mean, anybody can have a blog, you know what I mean? Anybody can have a space where they want to put their writing or put their thoughts, put their voice, but it can be an echoless chamber and it can be a void and you can throw all that stuff out there and uh it means something because of everybody in chat and it means something because of everybody who reads and it means everything because of people like you guys and like this doesn't exist without you guys. And for as sad as I feel for myself and for as sad as I feel for Jeremy or Chris, for as sad as I feel about anybody impacted by any of this stuff, like reading, listening to Jeremy read all the alerts and all of you guys talking about, what we meant to you. We'll figure it out.
That's kind of where I'm at. I don't think it's fully set in, and I'm sure at some point tonight.
Yeah.
Did I ever thank Olive Garden? No, I did not thank Olive Garden.
Do you think we should just do a mock draft? That'll really bring me back to even.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I will say that I've already talked with Matt Turner. I'm going to join Roar the Lions on Monday. So on Twitch, shout out Roar the Lions _UK. I'll be there with them. I'll try to avoid this topic because I'm just going to, without Jeremy to keep me as like a control rod, I will just bounce off fucking walls. Hot ones on no decaf. I do owe you a cooking stream. I do want to get back on my own stream at some point. I finally had time. It was finally time. I had finally gotten out of my hell schedule after 6 months. And this is what greets me.
It's okay, Ryan, if you got to go.
Okay, Brian, thank you, man. We'll talk
Yep.
soon, man. I'll send you some funny memes soon. Don't worry.
See ya.
We'll see you
See you,
soon,
man.
bud.
Love you. Yes, this has been me under control. Believe it or not, I have worked in corporate before.
A couple more alerts to get through here. A second, hold on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where the hell I was. Luxtables, thank you for the $20 donation. Says, love you guys. We'll follow wherever you need to. Liam, thank you for gifting a sub. Sundog 100 bits says, back at the motherfucking rock. God, drop is going to hit so hard when you guys get through this. You're not wrong. Didium's 20 months says, love you guys and everything you do. You have our support no matter what. Eric Michael, thank you for the $20 on YouTube. Says, just say see you next time and get some rest, boys, because we'll see you next time. $10 from Jakari. Says, what you guys did for this community has not been in vain. You've been a bright spot at the end of each of my work days. What a hell of a year we had. RGA 50 bits says, I've been listening since Car Talk. It's so messed up. Thank you guys for everything. You don't know how much I appreciate you guys all
What's
these
messed
years.
up is how good I became at understanding cars since Car Talk.
Hasn't helped me at all.
No?
No.
Oh, man. Well, I'm not helped because of Car Talk.
McVeigh Rob also, thank you for the 45 bits. Yeah, so to just quickly recap for people who are joining in late, as of right now, and I'm going to get more information tomorrow, SB Nation, I see some people saying Vox. As far as I know, this is just an SB Nation thing for now. SB Nation has discontinued all of their podcasts, both national shows and team podcasts, effective immediately. We don't know what that means for our ability to spin off. As of right now, they are not relinquishing the RSS feed, which means if you're subscribed to us now, if we go somewhere else, you're going to have to subscribe to something else. We can't just change the name of the podcast and you're still there. I'm hoping, but I'm not hopeful that they're going to change their mind on that. What that means for the YouTube page and the Twitch pages, I don't know yet. I can tell you that the YouTube page, at least in terms of native content there, non-live stuff, is not going anywhere. So everything that they're doing, everything that Miko and Morgan are doing over there in terms of just YouTube videos, that's going to stay there and not change. I'm still not entirely sure if we have to go off platform, whether I will be able to follow, because I am still employed full-time at Vox Media. And so I don't know if they would let me do a competitor podcast on a different platform.
Well, they can't stop you from being a guest on the podcast, can they?
I don't know. I would assume not, but I don't know.
Well, guess what's going to happen?
All
If that's
those
the case. We're gonna have 30 main show podcast featuring featuring Jeremy Reisman from Pride to Detroit.
I'll just grow out a mustache. No one will recognize me.
Yes, yes, Jeremy Reisman.
We also aren't entirely
You're the
sure
Macho Man.
whether we're going to have more podcasts this month because we are still getting paid throughout the month, but I was initially told that we should stop doing podcasts. And then, yeah, I don't want to lose this community, so I want to continue to Twitch stream and YouTube, even if it means I'm not personally getting paid, but I don't want to leave anyone else behind. So those are all the details we still need to work out. I'm hoping I have at least some answers tomorrow, and I hope to God that some of those answers are good answers, because all I've been getting is bad answers today.
Yeah.
But that's where we're at.
Well, yeah. I know we were going to talk after this, but I feel like at this point, we'll just have to talk on another day once you have some more answers. Just... Yeah. This is hard for me too because, as I've talked with Jeremy before, I'm not much of a writer anymore. Jeremy, you've always praised me very deeply on my writing, and I feel always bad that I seem to struggle with writing all the time. But this is really where my passion is talking into a microphone. And I don't think a lot of people realize just how shy I am from talking outside of here. I'm not good with small talk. I'm not good with the flow of conversation, but there's something I've always said is magical about a microphone that can change someone as awkward and screwy as me and give me the ability to talk like I am a normal person. So I'm going to miss it. Even if it's temporary, these next few weeks are going to be really painful. I will try to stream.
At least
and if Jeremy will have me, I would love to make video content in the time being over on YouTube.
The good news is I don't have to talk about the draft now.
You son of a bitch! You son of a bitch! You figured it out! You figured it out! I hate you! The mock draft was the end of it, huh?
Nick the Greek
we will release new info via the Twitter account. We might have to be a little coy about it. There might be a very cheeky retweet if we must.
Yeah.
There might be a cheeky update to some descriptions on podcasts. So keep looking on Spotify and Apple, because maybe one of those descriptions might update with a link or a name. But you didn't hear it from me. You didn't hear it from me.
100 bits from Nick the Greek says one of the three of you needs to leave and start a Substack and just have the other three on as quote unquote guests per the normal schedule. You guys get 100% of the revenue that way. Who knows? Maybe.
Hold on. Sorry. I'm trying to find a comment I just saw. Ember Drizzle. Was he on Twitch? Hold on. Yes, he is. Okay, sorry. Go on, Jeremy. Go on, Jerry. I'm so sorry.
Tone Loke, thank you for the 10 months. Says, listen, I'm not sure what the hell's going on, but I'm pretty sure the best football podcast in the business is going to find a home. I don't recognize SB Nation or Vox when I listen to POD. I don't give a flying fuck as to what they think. It's very, very nice of you. I hope it can be as simple as we'll find a new home and thrive, but there are going to be some hurdles and hoops to jump through before we get there. 1 bit from Nick the Greek says, lawyer here, I have one person start a Substack, have a simple written agreement about ownership and revenue split. You keep that private between you guys, see how much it grows and monetizes and transitions into your own thing. I will say I've been surprised at the amount of lawyers who have reached out, who've been trying to help already, and I don't want to say I don't have a use for you yet, but I kind of don't have a use for you yet because I don't know where we completely stand.
We could probably use someone to look at the contract, but I feel like I know the answer there. That is going to bite us in the ass, unfortunately. Like I said, that's the part that I really regret, is because I remember asking John after the SB Nation screw job for me came in, and realizing with dread that I had signed away this entire thing to this company. That taught me a very valuable lesson to that day about reading contracts.
So there's a little confusion in the chat. So the only thing that SB Nation changed today was podcast. People who were part of our podcast unit, commission, whatever. I actually was not getting paid by the podcast anymore. Once I became a full-time employee, I couldn't. So the people that are directly and financially impacted by this are Chris, Ryan, and Eric. Those are the three that have been, relying on steady paychecks from this.
I was very reliant on this. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm very reliant on this.
Chris, at this point, has just been a podcast employee. He was previously a written employee, but California labor laws and SB Nation fucked that up. There's no other word for it.
Yeah.
Chris,
and each time we tried to add me back to the staff, I know you had other priorities, and I was fine taking a back seat just because I had the podcast to fall back on.
Right. So if you're looking to support people, one, don't worry about me because I'm fine other than the emotional loss of this. Chris could use your help. Ryan and Eric are both still employed by Pride of Detroit, but this is definitely going to be a significant cut out of their earnings.
Detroit Lions breakdown does not get affected at all by this, by the way.
So if you're looking to support Eric in a way that can help him out in a way that he's currently going to lose a significant amount, he has a Patreon. The Detroit Lions
I don't
Breakdown
have
podcast
anything right now, but I'm going to try to create something early next week for myself. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a Patreon.
And you have a Twitch page.
I do have a Twitch page, but I'd rather not deal with Twitch for how much money they take away from you, especially since I'm only an affiliate on there and not a partner. I lose so much of that money. So I don't know if I'll just set up a coffee link for the time being, but I definitely want to Twitch is not a great platform if you're trying to give money to people. So I've never liked that I've been dependent upon Twitch in that regard. I've wanted to move into some YouTube domains. I've just dragged my feet. I thought I'd have time this summer, and I don't. Now I've got to go full throttle.
Let me see if I can get you guys Eric's link. As some people have pointed out, if you subscribe to his Patreon, you also get his draft board, which is incredible. Where his about page doesn't have anything. That's funny.
Hold on. I'm just going to create, since some people are asking, I'm just going to create a coffee real quick.
There it is on Twitch. I'll go over to YouTube here in a second and throw that if you want to support Eric and his podcast. I highly recommend listening to his podcast. Him and Joe Kenya do an excellent job.
Created coffee real quick.
But honestly, the Patreon is almost worth it just for that draft board that he sent you. It's impressive.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Oh, not that image. Damn it.
We could do something like that, Joshua. I don't love the idea of hosting a donation stream for ourselves. But let me talk with all the other guys. Maybe we do some sort of unrelated Pride of Detroit live streaming thing where we can support these guys who've given so much of their time to us. But all that, again, we still have to figure out all the details of everything. In fact, I was actually planning to go to opening day tomorrow. Now I'm not sure if I can.
Here, since I know some people are asking, I'm almost done setting this up. Sorry, Jeremy.
No, you're fine. Lion's Eye, I very much appreciate that. There is definitely a part of me, and I'm not fully there yet because I'm still kind of dealing with the emotional aspect of this, but there is part of me that can see that I can see a side of how this might be a blessing in the long term.
I think this is something that
because quite honestly, I think we've harnessed something that is extremely powerful and extremely valuable, and I'm not sure SB Nation or Vox ever fully understood the scope of that.
I always had reservations. I know we used to fight about stuff about like how much they would inject their own football podcast into it, not understanding what we had built that is just for the fans in Detroit. And like, it's tough, right? Like, it's tough to just for me to do one team. I have interest in across the entire league. I've always wanted to. My dream has always been to go back to a place like Detroit or some other major city and like have a radio show for that area. That means sometimes hitting on stuff besides the Lions. We've been blessed to be able to focus just on the Lions. And I know that's where Jeremy's opinion lies. I mean, that's where Jeremy's expertise is always lies. And we've talked about this before, Jeremy. You've always wanted to just cover the Lions.
Yeah, it's a dream job.
It is. And I've wanted to cover either like I've always wanted to take a different tack, and I always reel it in. I've always wanted to do national sports coverage. I like a lot of different things, but I am at the heart a Lions fan. But I've always been fascinated by the idea of doing a region's entire sports coverage, and I would love to do something like that in Detroit. I don't like cold, so I've kind of compromised myself, and now I live out in California. But I am a fan of all the Detroit sports teams, even though the Pistons try me very hard and the Red Wings try me very hard. But I've always dreamed of having something where you could do all Detroit sports. But I also know some of you who are Lions fans, you're not fans of the other Detroit sports teams. And I've always been kind of cognizant about how do you do that without tainting something. Same with just if I'm interested in all NFL stuff. Like I've talked with Jeremy about we do mostly Lion stuff, or maybe I do like a small NFL roundup show on the side or something. Or here's the rest of Detroit sports on the side. But like I've wanted to expand that coverage, but I feel like this is a chance where we do get to play around a little bit. We do get to go back to the drawing board, and maybe I do connect and start doing daily updates or something. But it's always something I had a reservation on with SB Nation that I felt like at some point I wasn't expecting this, but other conversation I had had with certain people always led me to believe like I've got to be careful about the meddling from upstairs. Anyway.
R&D line, thank you for the 29 months. Subscribe to the channel. Jabba Puff, first time subscriber. Interesting time to come in. I see you followed. Spectre King, Spectre Knight, thank you for the 100 bits, says we need y'all to keep podcasting somewhere. Can't let the community you built perish. God, I hope they let us. That's all I can say for now. And Joshua Mercer, thank you for following. I that seems to suggest that you unfollowed us, which I'm not going to take personally.
I love that Talon on YouTube. Just okay announcing.
Okay, so here's where it gets complicated. Kronos, who says, if SB Nation no longer has a podcast, can you own the thing really be considered competition? Usually non-competes are tough to enforce without being very, very specific. I don't know, but I think the fact that the Pride of Detroit podcast feed will continue to exist but be dormant could make it hard for me to join a competitor.
I genuinely do not know what they are trying to do with it. And that's the part that's like something that I can't share with you guys that Jeremy shared with me does scare me in that avenue.
I do, yeah.
But
I do have an idea of what the thought process here. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's also partial speculation for me, so I don't want to share it.
And it enrages me when I think about it too.
Yeah.
Like it enrages me when I think about what they could potentially be making you do for less what you would get.
Celestial Soldier, thank you for the 22 months. Says, I'm deeply sad and bummer. Same, buddy. KR, thank you for the subscription on YouTube. And Ovo, thank you for following on Twitch.
I think I will be. I know I'm doing Roar the Lions next week, but I will try to do at least once a week. Like, if you guys just want to stop by on my Twitch, talk some Lions stuff, talk some NFL stuff, I'll try to do what used to be the pregame shows. And we'll just happen to just be hangouts on a day off for the time being.
To those asking, I think I should be able to join other podcasts as guests, no problem. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, thank you for those following me on Twitch. I also just made a coffee or Ko-Fi or however I'm supposed to say it and dropped it in there. That is probably like, if you want to financially support me for the time being, I won't turn you away. I can't act like this is cool. This is a massive financial hit to me. But hopefully it won't be long term. It does, maybe, to Jeremy's point, get me off my ass about my other job, which I don't want to talk too much about my other employer, but law just passed in California, setting the minimum wage for fast food workers at $20 an hour. They're making more than me now. Yeah. I'm in a rut. And I'm only covering up how scared I am a little bit with hope that we can get stuff off the ground and me being mad and me trying to put on a brave face.
As of right now, the podcast feed is the only thing that's being impacted. Theoretically, we still have rights to the Twitch and the YouTube page. I don't know if they're going to be active because, quite frankly, I would imagine if we're doing a video show here and not being able to use the audio, it's probably not worth Chris's time, probably not worth Ryan's time.
I wouldn't mind joining it though. Like it's more a matter of like, I really can't understate what we were making off that podcast. Like,
right.
Because the problem at the end of the day is Twitch and YouTube control what we get from those unless we badger you guys more for that stuff. But our revenue, like they killed, like YouTube unilaterally killed one of our long streams that got us like huge amounts of views. They demonetized just out of the blue.
Yeah.
There was a great article by Anil Dash called Wherever You Get Your Podcast, they put on his Substack. And he talked about how liberating having your own podcast feed is, because you don't have to worry about what YouTube did or what Twitch does with its payment options. Like, you just take it wherever. They're able to monetize it and you take the money from it. Like, we were getting good money. Like, people always joke that I was one of the guys who I talked to at like Fox. I was one of the guys who figured out how to make money off of a podcast. And it wasn't a ton of money, but it was still a significant amount of money. It allowed me to break even living in Southern California.
Twitch is not impacted. YouTube's not impacted.
Discord is not impacted either. Discord is not
impacted.
going away.
SB Nation has never had their hands on the YouTube or Twitch page. The only thing that might change is we might have to change the name, but I have not been told that.
Yes,
anything.
And I will be changing the name of the Discord for sure. But the Discord is probably the best way for you if you want to know what we're doing next. Since I am the one who controls the Discord, I'm the owner, and I'm already fired. Not even Jeremy can demand the Discord from me.
I wouldn't either. That place is a mess sometimes.
It is a giant mess. I hate it. I hate the mess. But I'm just saying, if you're looking for information there, I will be able to post the information there on the Discord. But I'm just saying, like, since I'm the owner of the Discord and I'm already fired from SB Nation, even if they tell Jeremy something about the Discord, I'm going to be like, okay, Jeremy, that's cool, but it's mine. I just posted the Discord link to Rob. It's !Discord on Twitch. And let me post that link to the Discord in our YouTube comments as well.
Spotify is part of the podcast, so don't expect updates on our Spotify. We could theoretically continue to do Twitter Spaces, but you'd only be able to listen to that on Twitter. Yeah. And I don't know if Ryan and Eric are going to be willing and wanting to give 3 hours of their time on a Saturday morning for Twitter Spaces that they're getting no. I mean, I know they love doing it and I know they love hanging out and all that sort of stuff, but that's a long time commitment on a day off where they could be spending time with their family and friends. So I don't know if those are going to continue either.
Yeah. This just sucks a little bit for me. I did never put a lot of effort into my Twitter. Just because I'm like, I have the podcast, I'm fine. I don't have the same kind of footprint. It's going to be hard for me to get out the word, but we'll figure some stuff out.
Yeah.
I'll just warn you guys, I might not always be Lions, like talking Lions all the time, but I'm a huge fan. Even though we joke all the time that I'm not a fan. It's what I want to talk about at the end of the day. I think we threaded a very good needle figuring out how we could be fans and also cover the team at the same time. They used to say about sports talk radio that you're supposed to be the voice of the fan. That was always a slogan for so many WFAN clones across the country in the 90s. The voice of the fan. That kind of went away. As someone who works in the space, it's very egotistical. Like guys like, and I don't want to speak bad about them, but I think it is the truth that guys like Jim Rome, Colin Cowherd, they're concerned with what they think and they say more than being the outlet and being your voice. And I think that what we've tapped on with Pride of Detroit has being your voice. And that's always what I wanted to do doing radio. And I want to continue to do that. Please don't make me make the OnlyFans. Please don't make me make an OnlyFans.
The internet does not need to see Chris's feet.
No, my feet are gross. So I was paid on a 1099 and I'm still getting a W-2 part-time for my other work. I'll see about some unemployment, but considering my split things, this might, yeah, I think you're right. This might actually, I'm losing a contract. I don't know if I'm losing employment though. Trust me, I have to already call some people about renter's insurance, about how much money I just threw away from my fridge by my landlord in 4 days not sending someone here to repair my fridge. So I'll be sure to ask about unemployment stuff too. But I already see some people have supported me on coffee, so thank you so much. Thank you so much.
How dare you, Joshua? Sorry, I'm ordering a pizza because even though I shouldn't.
That sounds so good. That sounds so good
I'm,
right
co-
now,
I'm
man.
the thing that sucks about all this even more is I'm coming off the flu over the past 36 hours.
I was about to say, I am so sorry about what you
I've barely been able to get off the couch. I've written almost nothing for the website, and I was supposed to get out. Sorry to Pride Detroit Direct subscribers, you're not getting an edition this week. I was going to do it. I was going to do it yesterday, and then I got extremely sick. I was going to do it today, and I was finally feeling better until the news hit, and I'm like, no, I am not. I'm sorry. I'm not in the mood. Not feeling.
I have been drinking way too much. And this is, I mean, I've already downed this Ukrainian beer. I've got one more in my cooler. And that's before I cut into, I've been drinking way too much rum the last few days. And I should be careful. I'm always worried about obsessive behaviors of mine. And I make my Mai Tais with like half a cup of rum by itself. So I don't know if I should keep drinking tonight. That pizza sounds again, I don't have a fridge. And I might be able to put the pizza on ice, the leftover pizza on ice.
Leftovers.
I did just
Eat
take
it
some
all.
tuna out from beneath all of the ice, and I was going to make a poke bowl tonight, but I think pizza might be.
Did I tell you that the owners' meeting party had a poke bowl bar?
Ooh. So you just put, it would just be your own toppings you throw on the poke bowls?
Yeah, you just walk up and it's like a buffet of like, all right, here's all the tuna, here's all the.
I make it very traditional. It's just raw tuna, some Maui onion, and a little bit of green onion. I like throwing a little edamame on there, but like it's mostly about the sauce that kind of like does it. But God bless Aldi, because I can get like raw sushi grade frozen vac pack tuna steaks like cheap. And I'm between that, smoothies, and some turkey sandwich. I'm basically on an island diet right now. Unfortunately, that island diet also consists of at least a pint of rum every night.
I definitely cannot do alcohol tonight.
No, this beer
sicker.
was probably, I should probably stop after this beer.
All right, I got a couple more alerts to go, including an extremely generous one that just came in. Not that obvious. Thank you for the 10 months. Grandpa QB, thank you for the 8 months. Says Canadian here from far away that grew up a Lions fan. Was awesome to hear from people who know my pain. Love you guys for everything. Thank you, Grandpa. Matthew Shu on YouTube, $100. Says it's Chef Jeff. Losing a part of your business can be devastating. This reminds me of when meth was made illegal in the U.S. Let me pay for the pizza. Thank you. Not necessary, but thank you. 4 bits from Quirky Zerky says, Jeremy, post details of the Poke Bar in Discord because I want to do that at home. God, I don't know. So
Let me tell you, poke is something really easy you can make at home, right?
Yeah.
All you need is just like, in a lot of places will sell the sushi grade tuna steaks like in the freezer. You take one down of the vac pack, chop it up into tiny bites. You throw it in with some onion, chopped sweet onion, and it's just soy sauce, a little bit of that oyster sauce, some sesame oil, and then not sriracha, but what's sambal, I think is the name of it. It's like it's the other hot sauce, but it's in like a jar.
Yeah.
Same thing from Hoi Fong.
I like the ponzu. If ponzu is available, I like
Ponzu is very, because you have the citrus in it, right? So you get some ponzu, but if you don't have that, just use normal Kikkoman soy sauce, any Japanese soy sauce. Throw a little citrus in there too, like douse it with sesame seeds, top with some green onions, put over some white rice. Add if you want some like seaweed salad or some edamame or something, like you're groovy. That's it. But what all do they have in this bar? I'm sorry, dude. What all they have in the bar?
I'm trying to remember. I didn't take photos or anything of it, but it's at least 2 or 3 different kind of fish, mostly salmon or tuna. Definitely had edamame, jalapeno. God, I don't know. Pineapple probably.
Yeah, that's all a little bit too much, but
and like that kind of orangish sauce. It's almost like a chipotle mayo, but it's not.
Oh yeah, it is a chipotle. It's a sriracha mayo. Sriracha mayo.
I think they had some.
Yeah, I used to have a bottle of that before I threw it out. Funny enough, if this hadn't hit, I was going to go down to Malibu and go eat at a place called Duke's. On the, did you ever go to Duke's when you were out here?
I barely ever went to Malibu.
It's on PCH. It's on Pacific Coast Highway. There's a place in Oahu as well. It's a Hawaiian place, but they do good Mai Tais and they do some poke bowls, and also very good fish tacos. Whenever my family comes out to LA, I kind of convince them to go there because from my place in the valley, I don't like to go anywhere else in LA, but I can get to Malibu very easily, and we'd go there and I just get drunk on the beach and eat fish tacos.
Dicka, why are you telling me it's BOGO burrito day at Chipotle now? It's 8:00. All the Chipotles are closed.
Why would you ever want to eat 2 burritos from Chipotle or 2 burrito bowls from Chipotle though?
I mean, I'd save one. I wouldn't eat 2 in one sitting.
I've never tried to reheat.
Suicide.
I would never try to reheat a Chipotle burrito.
I would probably eat it cold. I eat a lot of leftovers cold, and it's weird, and I don't necessarily recommend it, but I do it a lot.
I'm wearing the Olive Garden shirt, by the way.
There are a million things.
I know. Everyone's just burning all of their points right now. I do appreciate the chaos of it.
I don't even know where my cowboy hat is. I feel like that hadn't been redeemed in a long time. Joshua Mercer, thank you for another 10 gifted subs. Patman, thank you for the 200 bits. And Libro, thank you for the follow.
By the way, whenever we figure out what comes next too, I've promised us to Reddit, our Detroit Lions, who have been very good to us today, and the outpouring there is also very good. I will post an update there as well.
Okay.
You can find me on Reddit at decaf. No decaf. Just decaf.
Very complicated way of explaining that.
I know.
Guys, this isn't necessarily going to be our final Twitch stream. We're not done. I'm hopeful it isn't. So, I'll just redeem everything that you guys are not redeem. I will refund everything that you're currently asking for. You didn't really care. All right, fair enough. I'll say I'm willing to stay live until my pizza comes, but once my pizza comes, I would like to.
You want to? What'd you get on the
also
pizza?
Be said. I'm sad to say that I did not go Jets. I went Hungry Howie's because they had 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas and breadsticks for under $20, and that sounded appealing to me.
Wait, I'm sorry. Where'd you get this from again?
Hungry Howie's.
Hungry Howie's.
That's right.
I still miss those.
So I got 1 pepperoni. I'm sorry, 1 sausage with Cajun crust, 1 garlic crust with ham, and then I got Cajun Howie bread.
I should stick with my tuna plan, but now I really want to pick up some Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. You know what you should do? Wait. Because we haven't talked about this. This is something we would totally talk about on the podcast. But I saw people on social media going nuts over it, and I saw that Colton also tried it. The Little Caesars puffs.
Oh God, those things. Those are only like $4 or whatever, too, isn't it?
I've heard they're fantastic. Who here in the live audience have had the Little Caesars puffs?
Real quick before we do that, thank you guys from the Detroit Lions. The official account is in our YouTube chat.
Are they really?
They're saying we are also here until the pizza comes. I want to again thank everything the Detroit Lions team has done for us. We mentioned Eamon on the main podcast, and this isn't the end. We're going to try to figure out what comes next, but I really want to thank the Lions for everything they've done for us. And I hope they're still here and hearing me. I really want to put that through.
They've referenced stuff that we've done on these streams. They referenced the Madden streams in their schedule release video like that. It might not be like a direct promotion of what we do, but it's a reflection of the impact that we had, and yeah, of course, the access that we got too. Yeah, like they've been instrumental in everything we've been able to do since I took over in 2017.
We cannot, like, we do this because we are fans, but also trying to be the voice of the fans, and we just, holy God, thank you guys so much. By the way, also thank you to Matthew Shue on YouTube, $100, saying it's Chef Jeff. Losing part of your business can be devastating. This reminds of when meth was. Oh, well, you did that already.
I did do that one.
Yeah. Okay.
It was $100 though. It deserved to be read twice.
Yeah. No, and I just want to shout out again. I should have shouted him out on the podcast, but man, meeting Lomas was so cool, and he immediately, even though he didn't know me from Adam, immediately knew what we did. And was like fist bumping with me and everything while we're like just rooting for the Lions over the Chargers. Like he just immediately gushed about what I am very bad at recognizing other people see like me doing stuff. And it takes a reminder like that to be like, hey, I'm not just shouting into a void. Something is working here. Something is important. Like I am important somehow to someone somewhere. Like it's what makes radio so cool, and it's why I try to do this stuff as much as I can. Anyway,
Big Z Dub pointed out something that I thought was funny, a cruel twist of irony that also came across my mind at some point today, which is the Reisman recording room.
Oh no.
I got nothing to record in there anymore. We're going to have to change the name. I guess I got to win it again, but the POD, if I win,
POD Memorial.
I will ask to see if we can name it the PODcast Memorial Room.
I'm the one fired right away. I should get some sort of knock or something. Just a bust of me, just be like in memory. Like he's not dead. Yeah, just in memory. Maybe I should grab another beer. I'll just make the Pokeball tonight. God. Oh, man.
Sorry to put pizza in your mind.
No, I mean, I should probably eat better anyway because I woke up and got like one of those crunch wraps from Taco Bell for breakfast. So I need to I'm trying to do a better balancing act, and since my fridge has been dead now for, what's today, Thursday? 5 days, died on Sunday, eating out less has its appeal.
Yeah.
I was finally in a good groove, and then the fridge died. So on top of all of this, I've lost the podcast, and now I'm eating out of an Igloo cooler that I picked up for $50 from Costco.
How about some up downs? I'm not going to do up downs because I'm still getting over this flu. But I do feel like I owe you guys at least some stuff. There were definitely a couple spins on the Wheel of Pain I still have to do. Here's what I'm suggesting. Do Do you want me to get one of those sour pickle balls that I
Oh no.
had?
Why are you doing this to yourself?
Why the hell not?
You got a pizza on the way and you just came off the flu.
I'm feeling reckless, Chris. I'm not. Here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to grab the fart spray. I'm not going to do the smelling salts. But I think I'd be willing to do the sour pickle ball.
I can't stop you, man. I can't stop you if you do.
Don't go all Thelma and Louise on us. All right, we'll let the people decide. We'll make this a sorry, and by people I mean Twitch because they're easier accessible. Sorry, YouTube, if you want to go.
Yeah, no, we love you, YouTube. One last thing of Twitch is like I am sad that I am 20,000 points away from giving you a Macho Man redemption.
I was supposed to do one next podcast.
I know. I could change your background, but I'm too sad to even think of something witty to change it to.
All right, polls up on Twitch. Chris, one more Caleb Williams rant for the road. Dude, I don't know if we can handle that.
I don't want to, man. Oh, no, I do have something. The people who are yelling at that poor kid about what he's like, him having a bedazzled phone and fingernails. Was he at a WNB? No, he was at the Women's March Madness. And they're like, oh, look at him. He looks like, what are we... Like, again, I thought we were in a good era as far as being who you want to be rather than trying to police outdated norms of masculinity. And I'm not saying, like, I'm a big believer that there is a positive masculinity out there. I'm a cis straight guy, mostly straight guy who, like, believes there has to be a way forward for men in this world, but we cannot be doing this to a man like Caleb Williams and policing him over his goddamn phone and his fingernails. We cannot. We cannot. We cannot. There, that's my rant.
There you go, YouTube.
It's a positivity rant. Like, we should be more accepting of that. Like, I'm not going to talk about his play or anything else. I just find it insane what we are doing about Caleb Williams.
Only because the official Detroit Lions account said that they're... Oh, no. Did you just get...
What happened?
Pride of Detroit just got... Detroit Lions just got timed out. I don't know what you did. But they were complaining about not having a voice over there on YouTube, so I ran a poll over on YouTube as well.
Oh, they probably put it in all caps, and
they did it in all caps.
Is allergic to the all caps. Yeah. Should probably, that's stuff again to adjust down the line. That and the Discord, all the things I was putting off to this moment.
Right. Well, 62% of Twitch wants me to eat the sour pickle ball. We're at about 75% on YouTube. So it seems like a yes. I'll go get it. All right, here we go.
Sorry, I'm texting with a friend while he's doing that. Little Caps, we got excited. All good, Lions.
All right. Well, in case you don't know what any of this is about,
yeah, this is old stuff.
I'm
worried that because this is an old pickleball. Too.
That's true. part of our Movember campaign, every $10,000 that we raised, we were going to spin the Wheel of Extreme Pain. We did it twice. We're due 2 more. One of the things that we didn't land on yet is eating a quite literal sour pickle ball, and I know it's hard to see with the green screen behind me. But we're going to try it. It's like, here, let me I'll just turn off the green screen real quick. There we go. My immersion.
Did I miss it?
Not yet.
It's just because your green screen wouldn't pick up the pickleball?
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is what it looks like. Hold on, cover up my eyes. It's like covered in this pebbly texture. Let's see what's in it. Ingredients.
I really do have to thank you guys for all the love. But
cucumbers, water, vinegar, salt, alum, calcium chloride, bunch of sodium benzoate.
Well, you were. I was about to say yes, that is what a pickle is, but then you kept going. So now I don't know what you're into there, and I'm kind of scared. And I had to grab another beer to stop myself from twitching. So
I will say, so the most concerning Amazon review of this thing is regarding the stool afterwards, and I'm just going to leave it at that. The coloration of the stool afterwards.
Why do you have to put it like that? Why? Why?
So yeah, as someone who's coming off the flu, this is a great idea.
I really don't want you to if it's going to make you sick.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Tastes like a pickle, which is horrible. Am I supposed to bite into it?
I think so. I'm imagining this is like a pickled warhead. God, your teeth are turning green, too.
Oh, boy. That's really sour.
Yeah? You're Pickle Jeremy now. Pickle Rick.
This is the most sour thing I've ever had. I used to love, like, warheads and stuff. This is worse.
I love warheads. Ruby, here, big guy. Should I get Ruby one more time for the audience?
I'm very close to spitting this out.
Please do. Just you don't need to tough through it. You don't.
I'm gonna tough through it.
You tough through it. I'm gonna get Ruby.
Oh my god, this is worse than I was expecting. Oh boy. Oh my god.
I will say I should really thank those who have already donated to me the most because of Ruby, who is also having some teeth problems right now. So, thank you.
So what happens if I turn the green screen on now?
Oh yeah, let's see your teeth through all of that. Oh my god.
There we go.
Well, it's blue now. It's blue. Honey, I know.
Ugh. That was
see
rough. That deserved to be in the extreme pain.
It did. Circle life, Ruby. Come on. Oh, you're too heavy to do that.
Boy, I wish that
really
pizza was here.
That's all I can do for Ruby. Ruby doesn't want to come back.
Need ranch to wash it down.
Oh god. I will definitely do the cooking stream come hell or high water, by the way.
I'm throwing
I will take suggestions on what I should cook on it.
So show me another Lines podcast that is doing that kind of stuff.
No, sir. No, sir. man. That or wasabi, which was worse?
This.
Man. Taking that wasabi spoonful was already... I did not feel right for a while after that one.
This is not currently sitting particularly well either. And the aftertaste, also not good.
A lot of water, my friend. A lot of water.
Well, you guys want to talk Lions football at all? Brock Wright is back, huh?
Brock Wright.
Huh? Oh.
So let me ask you, actually. A lot of people starting to feel like the Lions could be targeting someone like Tyler Boyd to replace Josh Reynolds.
Yep. It's an interesting fit. So there was a report from The Athletic that the Lions had initial interest. So early in free agency was kind of the implication there. And so now the suggestion is that maybe they circle back and go towards it now that Josh Reynolds is out of the loop here. They'd have to switch some things up. Tyler Boyd has mostly been kind of like a big slot receiver, but he can play the outside. He just normally hasn't. And plus, like, he's been in Cincy where they have two really, really good outside receivers. So I don't think he can. I don't think it's necessarily a situation where he can't play outside receiver, but he's kind of been good in making his money as a nickel. Hold on. My pizza is here. I'm going to go grab it real quick. That's why Zazu's going crazy. But I'll be right back.
I didn't even hear Zazu, so I'll keep you guys company. Oh, man. So, yeah. Was Brock there? Is Josh away for Lions to play? I think there was genuine interest in Brock Wright. Brock Wright is someone who I think people saw the especially for a team like the 49ers. I'm pretty sure I understand the reason the 49ers would have interest in a big tight end like Brock Wright. Like that makes all the sense in the world to me. Like, I don't think that was just to try to screw with. That's not there to screw with the Lions. Teams don't do that. Teams don't do that like that, I would say. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Is the pizza going to be blue on stream now, too?
I don't think that's how it works.
Maybe. Oh, God, these pretzels are so good. There is a little bit of blue there. Did you get pineapple on that?
No. It's just ham. And Hungry House does these little ham strips instead of like the cubes or the...
No, I think Pizza Hut does ham strips as well. Yeah. So it's just ham?
Mm-hmm.
I've never done a ham pizza before.
It was 2 one-topping pizzas. I thought about throwing on either jalapeno or pineapple, but I didn't want to get the people going.
New POD mukbang streaming. I've talked about it before.
Is that what we do? Are we pivoting towards mukbang?
Let me let you in on something. I'm open for anything right now. I'm open for anything.
Very non-kosher. True. All right. I don't even feel comfortable eating on stream this much, so I think it's probably about time to end things. I don't.
By the way, thank you for those who have donated already to me on coffee. Luxtables, Experiment, Drew Falcon, Lost Ocean, Matt Turner. Like, wow. Thank you, guys.
We're still figuring out the future of everything, guys. I'll know a little bit more tomorrow about what we can and can't do. We don't want this to be a goodbye, just I don't know.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon type of thing. I don't expect the Twitch stream to be dead. I don't expect the YouTube channel to be dead. In fact, I'm certain at least the native content on YouTube is not going anywhere.
No, I might try to ask. I might try to impose on Morgan and those guys if they want me on every now and then, or to send some videos the way of Miko to upload. I do need to talk to Jeremy if I'm even able to see any money from that, though. But if not, I might just do it just so I have a presence, not just a ghost.
We'll figure all of that out in due time. But again, I want to just thank everybody who's been along for the ride for 8.5, 9 years here. I don't want to leave you guys completely. We don't plan on leaving you guys empty-handed. And with the interest that our podcast has already drawn, I can say pretty confidently something will reemerge.
Hell or high water, I intend somewhere to do a draft stream. Because of this development, I don't know if I'll be able to do anything on day 3, because now I kind of need the money from my other work, so I really can't take the day off on Saturday. But I will be there Friday and Thursday and Friday night, that's for sure.
Nothing is getting deleted off Twitch or YouTube. The podcast part will be uploaded tonight.
And hopefully they don't try to delete anything. If not, I will create my own stream and upload old episodes over there if I absolutely must. Do not destroy data. Do not destroy content. The internet should exist as a library, not just an expendable piece of money.
We'll be back in some sort of fashion. We'll be back. It probably won't be the exact same, but we'll be back.
Definitely will be with a different name, probably.
Yeah. All right. Anything left to take care of here, Chris?
This pretzel, for one thing. I think the best way to get out of here is for me to do your phrase.
Mm-hmm.
It's chaos. Be kind.
Does that mean I have to do yours?
You could. I won't stop you.
Well, first I'm going to say we're going to raid our good friend, that dude Dev. We haven't raided him in a while. He is a Bears fan, but he's been streaming longer than we have. He does a bunch of Madden streams. So go be nice to him.
Talk about Caleb Williams. Unless he is a...
There you go, yeah.
Unless he's a Justin Fields truther. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. He probably not at this point. I think Bears fans have jumped that ship. As soon as they jump ship, they're like, all right, now we're all in on Caleb Williams. He's
maybe, I don't know. There's been some dead enders on that. But yeah, anyway.
But yeah, if you're on Twitch, you'll automatically be redirected over there. If you're on YouTube, you're just going to see us awkwardly stand here for a couple seconds after we're done.
Thank you, YouTube, so much. You guys have really grown with us.
For sure. But until next time, whenever that is, we'll see you Starside.